I thought it would be funny if I made the angle really silly for Dylan, but it wasn't that funny. This is like a strange feeling because usually I have the music going and now I usually have my headphones on and now I'm like sounds of the apartment.
Got a window open?
Yeah. Well, hello to those of you who are here right now. We've got quite the setup. It's not that much more than what it usually is, but you know.
Is it that there's 6 viewers?
Yeah.
Okay.
7. This is, excuse me. Oh no. This is a little bit earlier than I usually go. But people are saying hi to you already.
Good morning.
Can you see this? I'll put the chat over here. And then here's all the stuff that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we're half an hour earlier because, whoops, there's lots of things happening today. Stitchy chats and stuff. So, I figured we'd get done a little bit earlier so that we can go to those. Hey Julie. Hey Jennifer. Yeah, I mean there's chats. DJ Backstitch is here and we're going to test our luck with some copyright stuff probably. But we're the throwback. If anybody has been here on my channel for a long time, Dylan, actually when he was coined DJ Backstitch, I had done a stream by myself and played music off of Spotify. Ding dong. And I got a copyright ding. And I was like, oh no, Dylan, how do I do this? How do I listen to music that I like while streaming? And he said, well, you put it through this pitch shifter and you can change the speed so that it doesn't recognize the song, so that the thing doesn't recognize it. And so you came on stream and you were the DJ while I stitched. Yep. And people requested songs and we played Penny Lane and I got a copyright strike for that. Like, I don't even remember, did we shift it that much?
It was definitely like a step up, like a whole step up or something. Mm-hmm. And faster, quite a bit faster.
Yeah, and we still got a copyright strike for that. So don't play the Beatles today. But we're going to test our luck again today because we have synthesizers. And this is a really fun pattern. I started this pattern and I was looking for this pattern because I was teaching my students about synthesizers. And so I bought this I found this pattern, didn't buy it, and then but I followed Nati on Instagram, and then we became friends, and I was like, oh, why haven't I bought this yet? Because another promotion, Nati's husband plays in a band and plays a lot of synthesizers and pedals, and that's why she made this pattern. Hey! Yay. Vanessa, your tiny stitching kit is in the mail. I hope it gets to you. I think it will. I don't know why it wouldn't, but I hope it gets to you. And I live close to New York, so I think like they've been getting to their destination quickly. Some of my Germany peeps have gotten there quickly. Okay, Dylan, do you know what this is? Do you know what this one is?
I don't remember them by looking.
We're learning together. Nati told me, but I kind of forgot. She's going to be like, it's a this. I don't want to quote it incorrectly. A Sequential Prophet 6.
Okay.
She sent me a link. And I can send it to you. Let me see. I'm going to have to scroll back. There's somebody who... Smith, is that right? Who... Dave Smith.
Yeah.
He's the founder.
I'm seeing that name.
Dave Smith. So that's the one that I stitched all the black and white. And I used a laying tool on my white stitches. And then I did it on my red. And I'm like, those are really neat. I'm going to keep using laying tool. What are you finding?
Well, it's on a lot of... So I don't know if necessarily number 6 is on any of these records, but it seems like it's used a lot by Michael Jackson, Madonna, and the Carpenters. And also the company that makes it helped develop MIDI, which is a pretty big deal. And also this company has been purchased by Focusrite, who, my red interface, my little interface, that's by Focusrite. It's called the Scarlett.
Cool.
So it's a... Yeah. I guess Focusrite must be a huge company
yeah.
to buy.
So for everybody wondering, that is the top right. This one. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, that's a very creative way to show everybody. Kaylee, thank you. Dave Smith.
The 6, so the 6 is new. It came out in 2015, so I'm not going to necessarily be able to find any classic songs that have the 6, but I maybe could find one that has like one of the older sequential synthesizers.
Do you know? Okay, so
the Prophet 5 was used also by Dr. Dre.
Ooh. So. Dave Smith actually coined the term MIDI, Nati says.
Yeah. It's cool.
I'm going to try... When I was trying Bowen, I got this pack of 24, 26, and 28. Hey, Pammy. Hey, Pam. How are you? So I'm going to try these instead of the ones that come with the kit. Because I don't know what else I will use size 24 needles for. Maybe that is what's in the kit. Looks kind of like what's in the kit. Okay, and we're going to try to, like, prop this up. It's a very elaborate setup here.
It's kind of confusing because it seems like Dr. Dre worked with a rapper named Prophet.
Oh.
So there's like a mix of videos that are about the sounds that a Prophet synthesizer makes and videos of Dr. Dre rapping with Prophet.
That's funny.
So there is a video of famous preset sounds from the Prophet 5. That's not it. Not the Farmers Insurance ad.
No?
YouTube used to be so fun before everything became ads. Oh, I shouldn't badmouth YouTube on YouTube.
They're not coming for me. Well, maybe they are now that I have 1,000 subscribers.
This is just like a demo video.
Right.
By Dr. Mix. I'll plug their channel.
Hi, and welcome to Dr. Mix.
Hey, Dr. Mix.
I'm going to show you some famous presets of the Prophet 5. And that's coming up.
Nice intro.
So this episode I will show you what are the famous presets of the Prophet 5. You must have heard them on a million records. I'm just gonna go quickly through them and see what I can get out of it. If you happen to have one, there is a little procedure that you need to do in order to go through the factory presets, and that's holding bank select like this, and then hit on number 2.
It's giving like a full-on demo
or number 3.
How it works.
So I'm gonna start with number 2, and it's bank 1, program 1.
28 bone to Stitch on 20. Yes, 28 bone. Those are my favorite needles.
Nothing special here.
Oh yeah.
Now this is special.
Yeah.
It sounds like the one used on Kid A by Radiohead. Some of those tracks.
Trying to get the best setup here.
I'm kind of impressed by how many different sounds there are on this thing. This
Yeah.
is like 70s technology.
Yeah. We should watch the Google thing on this. Did I show you that with Wendy Carlos?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I could play this for hours.
Nati, does your husband have a YouTube?
2, 3, 4.
This guy's having fun.
Yeah, he is. Is that autofocus what he's doing right now?
No, I think she's talking about the camera probably.
Oh.
Oh, it's because your phone's autofocusing on the fabric thing. Is
Yeah.
that considered fabric? It looks stiff.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, I think we get the idea of the Prophet.
That's really funny. Dylan is like, fabric? Fabric? Am I moving or are you?
I think it's an earthquake.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't get away from the earthquakes.
Nope.
I'm just kidding, we kind of did. I don't think there's an active fault here.
No. So what Dre songs use it?
Boy, I don't know. It's kind of hard to figure this stuff out through just Google. Because it gives me... Oh, here we go. Here's a gear forum where they're talking about it. And different songs that have classic Prophet 5 bass songs. It's a whole lot of band YouTube videos. There's a Grandmaster Flash song that they're talking about.
Ooh.
I can put that on
Yeah.
briefly. See how long it takes to get copyright struck.
Well, like,
I don't know what the time... I feel like there's a time amount that you can use.
it's like 2 seconds.
Really?
Because I always see people that are like, oh, mute it.
Because I don't even know, like, where in the song that sound is.
Whoop.
I don't know Grandmaster Flash.
This is it? It makes me wonder sometimes how it gets from
Oh, yeah.
Linda.
This synth sound.
Oh, really? Prophet 5?
I think so.
It was around in the 70s?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Really?
70s gear.
Okay, now put that through a thinger.
Okay.
Put that song through a
Slight pitch change.
yeah, or something, because I know that song. I was teaching my kids about that song this year.
Yeah. Let's see. What's the title?
Um,
I have to keep them going. I don't know.
yeah.
I'll just go to the artist page. I'll be able to find it.
Anybody know that song? It was the first song in hip hop where, and this was from the Bronx because rap was born there because people would they would DJ on the streets. Message of Love. No, it's The Message. The Message.
The Message.
I think.
Okay.
The Message. I think it's that. Okay, I promise I'll start stitching, but I'm trying to set up my...
Wait, I don't think this is it.
Yes.
Oh, it is? Okay. I'm gonna make it slightly groovier. I forgot what the math is on this.
We're getting there. I'm kind of getting somewhere. Yeah, The Message.
I think this math is correct for pitch and speed. I'd have to review. I think it's like 8% for each half step or something.
Yeah.
It's a little filthier.
Yeah.
Voices are going to sound interesting.
Makes me wonder sometimes how I don't remember. This was the first song that, like, someone honestly talked about how people of color were being treated on the street.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Broken glass everywhere.
It does, doesn't it?
On the stage, you know they just don't care. I can't take the smell, can't take the noise. Got no money to move out, I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with the baseball bat. I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far, cause a man with a tow truck repossessed my car. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose.
Have you heard this?
my head.
Have you listened to this?
Yeah.
Sometimes it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Standing on the front stoop, hanging out the window, watching all the cars go by, roaring as the breezes blow. A crazy lady living in a bag, eating out of garbage pails. Used to be a fag hag, second that's the tango. Skip the life and
Yep, I forgot about that line. How's the sound? Can y'all hear the sound?
Girls back home. She went to the city and got so diddy. She had to get a pimp, she couldn't make it on her own. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge.
This is pretty raw for the early 80s.
Yeah, yeah, and this was like,
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder
it
how
is
I
one of
keep
the
from going
first,
under.
like,
Sometimes it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
hip hop came from disco, and disco obviously is like, woohoo, dancing, and then hip hop was like, no, this is what it's really like.
Should I go to another synthesizer?
Sure.
I feel like we got a pretty good idea of that one.
Okay, so this red one. Nati's gonna be laughing really hard at us trying to figure out which one is which.
I just don't remember at all. I hear synthesizers and records. I don't ever like see them being
right.
played. I'm a
Okay,
classical
she talked
musician.
about it last night. Nord Stage 2.
Okay.
Is that red?
Yeah.
That's what I'm working on now.
Okay. They're only like $5,000.
Let's get one.
Oh man, this Google result page has like nothing. It just has how you can buy it. It doesn't have anything about it. It's making me realize I don't actually know that much about synthesizers. But I'm always
don't know
around
very much.
classical music people, which makes me think I do know something because they know 0 and I know like 2.
You know the name Moog.
I know what a Moog is, and I know, well, Mellotron's not even a synthesizer, but I know what one is anyway.
I mean, you've listened to a lot of music that has synthesizers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't necessarily know what specific ones they're using. I recognize Moog sound when I hear it, but like, that's it. I don't know what this thing is. I mean, it seems like it's a relatively new. It's not like a vintage. I'm not sure though, just from what I'm trying to figure out. There's like demos. Oh, you can upload samples to it, so it's pretty advanced.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nati, does your husband have a lot of these synthesizers? Synthesizers.
It almost seems like it almost, from what I'm finding out, it seems like the Nord Stage 2 is like you can upload any sound you want onto it as a sample, and so you can use it to emulate like anything you want.
Right.
Is kind of like what it's for.
Used a lot in live music and recorded music, yeah.
So it's kind of a chameleon, I guess.
That would be really fun to see somebody use it live. And does it have recording capabilities on it? Like, can you record on it, or do you have to upload the sample?
I think you probably have to upload it. Do you remember?
Go ahead.
Do you remember Kevin creating samples when we lived with him?
Yes.
She says he has all the ones in the pattern. Oh wow, that's cool. But yeah, like Kevin was. I don't know what kind of.
Oh, that's right. But he was using old were they Casio, or they were just
he was
keyboards?
creating. I think he's creating samples of a Casio keyboard or something.
Yeah, one of our roommates, the drummer, if anyone remembers from when we were in California, he would get like odds and ends gigs and jobs, music related, and he one of them was to like play old keyboards and record the sounds for every single key.
I think that was only once though that he did that.
Oh.
It was like one. He got paid for it, but he hated it.
Yeah.
He was really irritated by it.
That's so cool.
I think like there's probably fewer people using vintage synths these days because you can just upload samples to things like this, and like this piece of technology is going to be more reliable.
Yeah.
Than some old analog piece of equipment.
And way more versatile.
Which, speaking of which, for the last time I was in my recording class, so by the way, I took a 2-semester class on recording at Peabody this year, and it was really interesting, and I learned lots of stuff. In the last week, we talked about reverb and how it's created, and there's different ways to do it. Like there's one called spring reverb that's in, I want to say Hammond organs, and it's a spring that kind of like vibrates sympathetically and then somehow gets tracked back into the sound. Like it's like an analog, totally physical way of creating reverb. Pardon. And then there's the next evolution is plate reverb, where instead of using a spring, they use metal plates that would vibrate, and it's a little more realistic. It's less metallic sounding. And then, but the way that we kind of experimented with in class is we did a echo chamber or reverb chamber. So there's like this stairwell outside of the recording studio, which is where we had class, and we took a recording that he had actually made on 2-inch tape. He'd done a recording session just recently on tape, so I got to see like this, what would have been a $150,000 tape reel in the 80s.
Oh, wow.
And he showed it to us and like was playing this recording back on it. And how it works to get reverb out of a reverb chamber is you take a recording you've made that's dry, and then you put the speaker at the bottom of this stairwell and put a mic like 2 levels up pointed towards the ceiling, so it's only capturing whatever sound gets reflected back off the ceiling, and then add that back into the recording. It's super crazy, but I just thought I'd share that story about how we were like dropping mic cables down a giant spiral stairwell, and people were like walking in and out, and like they see this speaker just playing music towards the ceiling. But apparently, I forgot which musician he said it was, but there's a famous musician who created a reverb chamber by burying basically what do you call it? A cargo box from like a train. They buried a cargo box in their backyard and put all of their recording equipment in it and a speaker, and then they like ran cables into it and would make all of their reverb in this box car that was underground.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This is like surgery, everybody. If you've ever tried to use a laying tool, it's just like very hip hop came more from soul and funk. The kids were taking their parents' records. Hip hop was pretty good, contemporary. Well, the thing about hip hop was it was not in the mainstream. So like, and hip hop, like it came from parts of the city that couldn't afford to go to certain places or to experience certain music, and people would DJ on stolen equipment because they couldn't afford the equipment. But it was like it was stereotypically what that was, but it comes from a lot of different socioeconomic factors were at play, right? Like
I haven't researched it in terms of
well,
how it
from
started
that documentary that I watched, it was just like it was people who they were experiencing discrimination, and so they had to, they were trying to express frustration, but there was this status quo, but then the message was like, nah guys, this is what's actually happening.
I think soul and funk though like are a lot of the things they were sampling for sure.
Yeah.
And even today too, there's a lot of that kind of stuff.
But you never really had anybody like the message. The first rap track, Sugar Hill, by the Sugar Hill Gang, was produced by a woman. And she was just like, hey guys, do you want to come to the studio? And they were like, yeah, sure. And they were like, okay, so you just ramble for this long, and you ramble for this long. Rapper's delight.
Yeah, that makes sense. Parents' records. That's a lot of the rappers today talk about that they're influenced by what their parents listened to. Mm-hmm. For sure. Should I do another synth?
I guess. Nati told me that this one is the Moog matriarch.
Okay. See, I didn't know, like...
So the
there's
one that
many
we just
different
talked about
kinds of
was the red one, the one that I was stitching. And then this one, I think...
It seems like the matriarch is like a current one as well.
Yeah. I mean, Nati said her husband has all of these.
Yeah.
That one's pretty. Look at all the colors on it.
I suppose they're all the current sort of models, because the Prophet 6 is like
Yeah.
the new version of the Prophet 5. Yeah, I'm not up to date. I just play the trumpet and
Yeah.
a couple guitars.
And especially since the synthesizer is so versatile and you can create basically any sound that you want, like the technology was created so that they wouldn't have to hire like a whole band. So there's videos of Wendy Carlos basically creating she made an album of, what was it, Bach songs, and it was all created by the synthesizer, but it sounded exactly like violins and violas and whatever other instruments that there were. And then when people found out that it was created artificially, they were mad. They were like, meh, meh, meh.
I guess I can share a story about Moog generally. That the first time I ever like knew that I was hearing Moog. Do I have to run it through the thing, by the way, no matter what it is? Or...
I don't know.
Okay. I want to make sure I actually have this queued up to the right place. But is a really weird example for like the first time I knew I was hearing Moog, because it's credited in the album as Moog, which isn't, I don't think, usually is credited as like synthesizer or keyboards. But this album they credited specifically as Moog, and it's because I was into Weezer actually.
Oh.
And if you talk to the Weezer fandom is a weird place, and people have very strong opinions, and there's some people that don't like anything after their second album, and sometimes they say it's because their bass player left. And so I ended up listening to this record by this bass player's other band, and it has a lot of Moog on it and is credited specifically as Moog. It's the only reason I knew what it was. And they're called the Rentals. And I have this song by the Rentals called Friends of P, and I guess I'll take it down a whole step. It's gonna sound really sludgy because it's already pretty grungy, but
Oh, dude, Pam got to see Grandmaster Flash.
that's
The
cool.
Documentary that, sorry, you got your thing. Go ahead.
I'll just put this, I'll try to get to the place where the synthesizer actually is. A lot of it's quite guitar based. Let's see, about like that. The chorus has a pretty strong synthesizer hook. You can hear it a little bit. The vocals sound so weird. Idea of that track.
That is a pretty recognizable synth hook.
Yeah. There's also, I could play like my favorite Moog solo of all time. I don't think I've played it on stream before, but I've showed it to you before. This is Genesis, Peter Gabriel era Genesis. They used a lot of Moog on their 1974 album, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, 2-disc album about some kind of crazy psychedelic journey that this guy goes on. And this song, I don't know if I can talk about what this song's about on stream. It's a little risque.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is it?
No. You didn't do it.
So the track before, he gets seduced by these snake women called the Lamia. They're like these mythical creatures, and they're beautiful snake women, and he does the deed with them, and then they like shrivel up, and he eats their bodies, and then the next thing he knows, his what he used to do the deed is now shriveling, and he comes, or no, that's not what happens. It doesn't shrivel, but he comes across these people that are covered in giant lumps and are disfigured and ugly, and they're like, well, if you did the deed with the Lamia, then the only way you can stop from looking like us is if we save what you used to do the deed in a tube, and you have to live separate from it. And so anyway, that's what this song's about, is him meeting these people. It's a really weird album. But it's got a great synth solo. I'm going to put this one faster because that'll be funny. I can't remember how this works. I'll say like 12. I don't know if I'm actually getting the speed ratio correct, but
Grandmaster Flash was in the documentary that I'm talking about. That's so cool.
okay. Solo's coming up. Peter Gabriel's voice sounds really strange when it's faster. Okay, here's the synth solo.
I wish I could listen to this kind of stuff on stream.
Yeah.
Like, regularly and without worrying about it. I guess...
Yeah, it's a good one. Colony of Slippermen by Genesis. What's another synth I can look at?
Do one of the pedals. Let me show you a list. I was like, hey, Nati, is there like do you have like a list of what's on there? And she's like, yeah, it's on the pattern. I was like,
CP88. I think that's like an electric piano.
What is a Chase Bliss Thermae? Red Panda Tensor. Dude, look up the... I mean, Chase must be the brand.
Chase Bliss Thermae. It's a pedal. It's a delay pedal. I have a delay pedal, but it's at my parents' house, like several states away. I would demo it.
We'll probably have it soon.
Yeah. Delay. I'm trying to think of like...
Dude, tell them to send you all your stuff.
Well, they're moving anyway.
Yeah, so they don't have to move it.
Well, yeah, I mean, either what'll happen is I'll like help them move, or
I guess you might just...
Once they move, then I can just put it in my car and drive it back here.
Are you driving there to help them move?
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You probably shouldn't.
I might be able to fly one way and then help them, because the thing about taking two cars, and I might be able to help them with the second car. I need to talk to them about that. I haven't talked to them about that yet.
Nolan's parents are, well, they're both retired. Well, did your dad no, he didn't retire.
He's retiring on my birthday.
He's retiring in July, and your mom retired earlier this year.
Yeah. My mom had been doing childcare for my eldest sister's kids. And so she's done with that now. Because my sister's now working half-time. So she doesn't need full-time childcare. And also she's on maternity leave for now. with her newest.
Baby.
I'm trying to think, like, there's so much delay in music. It's like everywhere, so it's hard for me to be like, oh, this is what delay sounds like. I mean, just off the top of my head, and of course my music's all skewed towards progressive rock, but the first thing I thought of is I used to get really frustrated when I would be like, oh, I want to learn this song, and I go to learn it and I read the tab and I'm like, this doesn't sound like the song, and it's because there's a delay pedal on it. So of course it doesn't sound like, if you just play the plain lick, it doesn't sound like it because you don't have the delay. And a really good example of this that really frustrated me is this song called Kid Gloves by Rush. And the first, right away, the guitar is just soaked in analog delay. Oops, I didn't pitch shift it. Oh well. But you can hear it. I don't know. I don't know if that's too subtle. But like the he's not playing, he's just playing quarter notes. Like, dun dun ding dun ding. But then with the delay it sounds like there's just tons of delay on that sound. So there's a delay demo.
Delay.
Yeah, that Chase Bliss is a delay pedal. The Therme is a delay pedal. The Mood, I didn't know the company Chase Bliss, but it seems like they're very my delay pedal costs like $40, and these Chase Bliss pedals cost like $500. So they must be capable of a lot more than my I can't remember what my delay pedal was called. It was like a, I mean, I still have it technically. It's just far away. As like a carbon copy, I think is what it was called. One of these days I'm gonna figure out how to like do this stuff on trumpet, like mic it and run it through delay, run it through all this stuff. It could be like Chris Bodie, you know.
Yeah.
That guy makes money. All right. Mood it's a looper. It's looper and delay. Multi-effect pedal. Oh, it does a lot of stuff. Real-time spatial effects. Oh boy, I don't know what any of these knobs do. It can do MIDI reverb delay. Oh boy. Yeah, I would need a tutorial on this pedal. But it looks like you can time stretch loop through a cloud of delay taps, resample it and carry on. Wow. Musical clock. Pretty interesting. I need a tutorial on that one. I don't know.
Dude, using your delay pedal for trumpet, Nati's right, that would sound really cool.
That's what Chris Bodie does. I mean, here I'll put a Chris Bodie song through the slowdowner. Let's see. Are You Lonesome Tonight? That sounds like a good one. Chris Bodie is I don't mean this in a derogatory way at all. This is in a positive way. He's like the Kenny G of trumpet. Extremely commercially successful, accessible, jazz tinged, easy listening music. Yeah. Heck of a player. Chris Bodie is like one of the most capable trumpet players I've ever heard. His music is, it's fun to see live.
Hey, James.
But anyway.
We're talking about synthesizers today. I stitch on a synthesizer.
I'm going to put this one down a little bit rather than up. Oh boy. Are You Lonesome Tonight? I wonder if this has like a vocalist or something.
It's about what I thought.
Is this Paul Buchanan?
Oh, it's like, no, it's not Newman.
I'm gonna skip to try to find the trumpet. Oh, this is pretty straight. It's just got a harmon mute in. I don't listen to like Chris Bodie recordings all that often, so I don't know a good example of him running it, like processing his trumpet sound, but he does. Mm-hmm. He's always mic'd and he always like has different effects. It's very cool. Like He's a heck of a musician. Let's see. What else have we got? Red Panda Tensor. I don't know what that is.
I feel like it might be this little one.
I feel like this is going to be the start of a Sweetwater addiction. It's a... looks like tape delay.
Points too tight.
Oh, pitch and time shifting pedal bend. So it's like a time warp pedal. Live reverse. It's not tape delay. Live reverse and tape stop effects, pitch shifting, time stretching, and hold functions that you can combine in creative ways. Slow down, speed up, and rewind in real time. Stretch or compress time with no pitch change. Loop, overdub, and randomly slice phrases up to 9.4 seconds, or 4.7 in stereo. Pitch shift from -2 to +2 octaves.
We just need one of those, and I can stream.
I'm gonna definitely like blow all of our money on Sweetwater now after hearing about all these capabilities.
Sweetwater is a gear website. You can buy music stuff on there.
Literally everything I've looked up, the first thing that comes up is a Sweetwater link.
Yeah.
Let's see. Arturia Micro Brute. I'm curious now about that one.
This has gone kind of fast. We've already been on here for 47 minutes now.
I know, and I need to like probably make food so we have food to eat. Yes, for the candy. Yep. The Tootsie Rolls.
That's funny.
And I have like a couple assignments that I need to actually finish and turn in before tomorrow night. And so like if I can make food, eat food. I have my last lesson this evening, my last trumpet studio class this evening, so like I haven't really had a real day off since my recital. I've had at least a class or a rehearsal all the way in DC, like every single day, or a concert. I've literally had something every single day since my recital, which was 6 days ago, and I was busy every day before that for like a week.
Yep.
It's
the end of a semester.
It's just been like a marathon.
It's always busy.
The Mini Brute. Analog sequencing synthesizer. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this one at all.
Back to the free YouTube library. You know it.
Only Arturia Mini Brute for a full song. This is from Carl Michael Bjork on YouTube. Or Björk. He's got the umlaut going.
You always wear a suit?
I always mute ads.
You powerful being, you.
Well, if I'm really powerful, I'd just download ad block. I hate to do that one these days. Alright.
I'm an old man. I wear bifocal glasses. I can barely bench press.
This is funny. He's got like a little
body weight.
intro.
I have a newspaper subscription. I also remember when Synths didn't have patch memories or audio streaming over USB, when outputs were mono and you'd have to overdub drum and pad tracks, and I had to walk 5 miles through the snow only to buy patch cables. And those were the days. This past weekend, I set out on a nostalgic trip, making a track using only the Mini Brute 2 and Ableton Live. First part, a simple sound playable all the way from bass to mid-highs, based around a triangle oscillator where a low-pass filter dampens the harmonic.
Hey, I know what these words mean after my recording class.
The kick drum is achieved by repatching the ADSR envelope to descending pitch in the attack phase. An attenuator is used to control the amount of the initial pitch sweep. The triangle wave with metallizer modulation from an LFO makes a
Pretty technical.
moving hi-hat type of sound. Playing with the amount of noise as well as decay time makes for additional timbre movement.
You can create basically any sound you want with this thing if you know what you're doing.
A woody snare sound is made on a foundation of a square wave, noise, and plenty of oscillator feedback by use of the brute factor.
Music is science.
Yep.
For added bottom in the pre-chorus, I created a fluttery bass with high resonance where the frequency modulation is taken care of by a clock-synced square LFO.
I don't know what LFO is. I guess I'll have to learn that.
Are you done? Or are you gonna keep looking?
I think I'm done
Okay.
for now. For with the synth stuff.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for chilling.
Yeah. I might have to bring in like a Baroque trumpet sometime.
Y'all get the special treatment with the Baroque trumpet.
One of these days. I haven't played it since my recital.
I mean, I reacted live on Twitch.
Oh yeah, to my like 6 minutes of fame.
Yeah, and then I reacted to the choral part.
Yeah. That was quite the performance. It's the thing about trumpet, like, that's challenging is kind of the context of what you're doing. So playing that Bach piece is one thing, but the real challenge of it is sitting for like 25 minutes doing nothing and then standing up and playing all of it.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's kind of the same thing with a lot of pieces. Like Petrushka. Like at the end of Petrushka, there's like the big piccolo trumpet thing. And it's not really that hard out of context, but when you've just played all of Petrushka and then sat for like a few minutes straight and then switch instruments with a mute in, and then try to play the end of Petrushka, it's like...
Yeah.
It's different than just doing it as like an audition excerpt, which is actually easier in that case. But yeah, I should probably like make real food so that we have real food to eat throughout the week.
I'm just eating real food. So.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I just like tomorrow I actually don't have anything scheduled. There's still stuff I need to do, but I at least don't have anything scheduled. So that's nice.
Wow. Do you want to pick a genre for me?
The industrial.
No.
How about like
Or do you want to pick
grindcore?
Do you want to pick a mood instead?
Yeah, let's see moods.
Dylan is going to be DJ again.
Angry.
How
can I look at all these choices and there's angry. Sorry, I didn't mean to peek.
No, you were like right in the...
I know. I didn't mean to peek the mic, sorry. I forgot.
It's okay.
Angry.
Okay.
Wait, that's dramatic though.
It's both.
Really?
I guess.
I want to know what it sounds like too. Can you put the headphones on me?
I can.
Just for a moment. I want to see what I've inflicted on your stream.
Hang on, let me get the levels right here. It has vocals.
You told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away.
You can get a different one.
I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
satisfactory so far.
You can see the riding on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements.
Yeah.
Find a whole
This
new
is it.
generation.
This is
I'm a
the
man,
vibe.
so you better go take it. Always they need a new replacement. Decentralized
Okay.
and contained. We're changing lives, yeah, upgrading. Call it suicide of the young generation.
That's what you get for inviting me to pick.
Yeah, that's what I get.
It sounds like Rage Against the Machine, but like I want Rage Against the Machine, Mom. We have Rage Against the Machine at home. Rage Against the Machine at home.
That's funny. Wow.
I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to drive, yeah.
Wow.
We've all had enough. Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna leave this down here because you can see kind of the whole pattern if I just leave that. It's kind of loud. Oh. What? I don't know. RCHP, yeah. It is a ripoff, isn't it? Well, how are y'all? I'm wearing my Ashley scrunchie. Oh, I was doing this with my other hand, wasn't I?
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when
I don't know how long I'll be able to handle this, everybody.
always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy.
It's a little
Look in the
too
mirror,
vocal.
He is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better
Wow.
believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Mind over everything. Okay. That'll work. Mind over everything.
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this,
Oh. Don't be scared. Okay, so for this pattern, I am going to use either beads that I have left over from Mill Hill, but I might go out and buy some. Listening to Min Rant. Me too. I'll have to let Dylan know that we didn't last 2 songs. Nati suggested funky. We'll go to funky. We lasted 2 songs.
You didn't like the angry songs?
No. Pam said, personally, I get sick of listening to men rant.
I can't imagine why you wouldn't like off-brand Rage Against the Machine.
What?
I can't imagine why you wouldn't like off-brand Rage Against the Machine.
Oh. Man.
It was bad, but I liked it for its badness. It was a fun kind of bad.
That's terrible. Okay, here we go. Yeah. It's a little bit better. The angstier boy genre is your least favorite. Yep. Angsty boys. Thanks to my boy. That sounds funny. Yeah, so I am going to first stitch all the stuff that I know should not be beads. Like the keyboards and but I really need to look at these at pictures of these and decide what I want as beads and what I want as just regular. Because I don't have unlimited selection of beads from my Mill Hill kits. Maybe I'll have to stitch some more some more Mill Hills before I start beading on this. Speaking of synth, I'll have to go back to my video where I talk about synths. It was from a year ago. I put the link to the lesson that I was using from Google. It was a Google lesson. And it talked about like the earliest Moog synthesizer, and it showed Wendy Carlos like creating sounds just from a synthesizer that sounded exactly like a xylophone, like a glockenspiel. Size 11s. I think that my LNS has beads, if I remember correctly. I've never like looked for beads there, but I think on the wall where they have all their Mill Hill kits, there's beads. So I'm excited about that. And the last time I went to my LNS, it's been a while, I was looking for small thread, but I didn't really know what to look for, so I'm excited to go back and see what they have. I got some Au Versoir there, and I haven't used it yet, because it's not thin enough, but I do have this. It's like a brown, reddish brown. It's not really showing up the red, but wow! Do 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 do. Wow! Can't wait to get down to that little one. The little red one. I'm excited to stitch that one. True. I mean, I was talking about this on my Twitch because I finished the Opera House. Are you familiar with that one that I just finished? Because I mean, I can go and grab it, but I was like, what do I do with the pattern now? Because the stuff from the kit I used in mine. Like I had all, they put way too much floss in there, first of all. Has anybody who's stitched a Mill Hill, Have you ever used all the floss that comes with it? And it's not like, it's not double. It's always just like, it's always like 30% too much floss. And not that I want to be running out, but then like, I was like, do I pass this pattern on? But then somebody else would have to kit it up with the beads, because there's extra beads, but there's not double beads, I would say. So then what do I do with the pattern? But it would probably be cheaper for somebody just to buy another kit than to try to kit it up themselves with just the pattern. Unless it's somebody who is using beads every day, you know. Also, this is a rabbit hole that I have not been down. Beads. I'm sure Mill Hill is not like the end-all be-all of beads. It's probably like floss, but there's a bunch of different brands and kinds and quality. Anybody use a laying tool like all the time? Because I like almost never. And then I remembered that I had it and I was stitching on with white and I was like, oh, I'll just try it. I'll just use the laying tool. And now I'm kind of regretting not using it on this. I think I'm going to use it in this whole project. For the crosses anyway. Once you get the hang of it, like, you get used to how to hold it, and this is a really nice laying tool. I think I got it on Amazon in a pack of like with the scissors and a needle case. Oh, and a thimble. I got all these things in one. What is this? What do you use this for? Weaving in ends on knitting? Is that what that is? A thimble, which I never use. I should just put that on the tiny thing shelf. A needle case, which I absolutely use. It's nice and big. This has all of the embroidery needles that I don't need because they have sharp tips. And then scissors. And these are probably my favorite scissors. They're really, really pointy. Amazon, you know? Dreadfully convenient. Oh, Pam, are you saying that Mill Hill beads are expensive? I bet I could get a bang for my buck by getting like a mix. Do they sell like mix packs? I bet I could find some like on eBay that's like, here's all the beads that I'm not using. The only thing is I would maybe want to know like their numbers and stuff, rather than just having a big random. I mean, it's like a button collection, right? You could just you could have a bunch of buttons. You could have a bunch of beads. Oh, okay. Bead soup. I like that. Okay, thanks. Hey, Pam, this is really fun. Thanks for sharing and chilling. You help the content roll. This helps me not pull so tight. The slaying tool. And then, I mean, these stitches over here, these look so good. They're so plump. Plump and lumpy. Plump lumpy. This is usually what happens when I have a new start. I get really excited about it, and I put in like 3 or 4 days, like straight on it, and then I get distracted with something else. So be prepared, Nati. Not allowed. I'll be stitching monogamously on this. Hey, I started my burb. This is it's really fun, and you're like, Nati was like, you could just stitch a couple of them. I was like, no, I have to stitch the whole thing. Like, I wouldn't be able to decide which one to stitch if I was only stitching a couple. I mean, maybe I'll want to see a tiny synthesizer, and I'll stitch something tiny. Like this red, this is great. This is DMC 347. 347. Are we gonna make it to the end? Probably not. Definitely not. My poor master set of DMC. Right now I'm stitching with 3 strands at a time. And then I'm gonna be messed up by all the one strand stuff. I'll be like, what am I supposed to do with this one little piece? But it would be a very long strand on a 40 count. The matriarch, yeah, I agree. The Nord. Which one is the Nord? I like the brown one for some reason. Like, I'm not like... Brown is not my favorite color. The pedals are cool too. I mean, the Theraveau is a pedal, right? Nope. Did you put these in any specific order? I took a screenshot and I'm keeping track of which ones that I know the names of. Oh. The Theraveau? Theravox? I like how I defaulted to French pronunciation. You know, everybody, I feel like Mill Hill uses bow and needles, because this needle feels a lot like the Mill Hill kit needles. I had that thought when I was stitching on this. I was like, oh, I'm using the needles that I got in my Mill Hill kits, and what if they get old and rusty or tainted? Not remembering that I have like 1,000 needles. Maybe not 1,000. I have been going through my John James pretty quickly though, because I put one in the tiny stitching kits, and I may need to get some more. I don't know how long I want to send those out. I mean, as long as I have supplies, I'll send them out, I think. It's pretty annoying. I had that many stitches left. I should have cut my strands longer. Just kidding. Look who's on my floss straps. Look who is my floss strap. I do this with if I make an online order and they send a business card, I turn it into a floss strap. And then when I'm stitching on my Hades in 20 years, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember ordering this, or what the heck is a fire poppy? I think you call for B5200, but I think I'm using Blanc because I went through this phase where every time I got DMC, okay, have fun. Maybe see you later. Is it that time? It is that time. Every time I went to Michael's, I would just like get a Blanc skein. I don't know why. I was like, you can never have too much Blanc. And then everybody was like, I like B5200 better. And I'm like, oh. Should I have not been getting Blanc? Should I have been getting B5200? So, buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse on the Blanc. But now I can just use it on a pattern that has a bit of white. Quite 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 a bit of white. Yeah. I mean, when you're using 3 strands on white paper, like, bleh, who cares? All of it's backstitched anyway, right? It smells like carrots. This is really comfortable. This laying tool. I'm gonna have to talk about it in my floss tube. Also, my Mill Hill kits are gonna be stitched with this. Okay, so you can't put perforated paper in a hoop, right? Like, you just can't. But it's like, with a piece this big, it's big and bulky. So I have taken my large paper clips that I got out of Vanity one time, because I was like, oh, look at these big paper clips. I like things that are tinier or bigger than they're supposed to be. So I got big paper clips. But then I just have it paper clipped to one of the packages of perforated paper. Because it's thin enough. I mean, I would just use a piece of cardboard if I didn't have this, but I just like, and then the part that I'm stitching is right on the edge, so it gives it a little bit of structure. Oh, that's where autofocus is. You don't have to use autofocus. So it won't focus on my computer. You know what I need to finish? Ooh, you know what would be good on perforated paper is blackwork patterns. It would be very apparent when you were not, when your floss would be pulled in a weird direction. I'm gonna mark my stitches. Don't look at the pattern. How many was that? 141! Hang on. Are those lights? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. Okay, Kaylee is going to have to... No, I'll just do that color. Right now. We'll do the dark gray. And I won't figure this out on stream. This pattern is very addicting. It's really fun. Well, I have 2 viewers. I actually think I'm going to go. Thanks for hanging out if you were here. Thanks for chilling. And yeah, there's some Stitchy chats going on right now, so I'm gonna probably go to those. So thanks for chilling. Thanks for hanging. See you soon.